If I told you that your brain wants you to succeed in trading, I'd be lying to you. The truth is, your brain is actively working against you every single time you open a chart. And it's not your fault. Your mind evolved over 200,000 years to keep you alive in the African savanna, to run from lions, to find food, to stay with the tribe. But here's the problem. The skills that kept your ancestors alive are the exact same instincts that drain your trading account. Today, I'm going to show you the 6 ways your brain is hardwired to lose money and, more importantly, how to override this ancient programming. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, you'll learn why losing money hurts twice as much as making money feels good and how this destroys your risk-reward. Why your brain sees patterns that don't exist and tricks you into bad trades. How your memory is biased toward recent events and why this makes you abandon winning strategies. Why you only see information that confirms what you already believe. How tribal survival instincts create FOMO and make you buy at the worst possible times. And why winning streaks are actually dangerous for your account. By the end, you'll understand that trading isn't you versus the market. It's you versus your own brain. Let's break down how your mind sabotages you. The first way your brain destroys your trading is called loss aversion. This is probably the most damaging cognitive bias in trading, and almost everyone suffers from it. Here's what it means. The pain you feel from losing money is roughly twice as intense as the pleasure you feel from gaining the same amount. Lose $1,000 and it hurts. Win $1,000 and it feels good, but not nearly as good as the loss felt bad. This isn't opinion, this is neuroscience. Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky proved this in their research and won a Nobel Prize for it. Now here's how this destroys your trading. When you're in a losing trade, your brain desperately wants to avoid the pain of realizing that loss. So what do? You hold. You hope. You move your stop loss. You tell yourself it'll come back. You turn a small loss into a big one because your brain cannot accept the pain. But when you're in a winning trade, something different happens. You feel good, you have a profit, and your brain says, take it, lock it in, don't let this good feeling turn into pain. So you close early, you grab the small win, you cut your profits short. Do you see what's happening? Your brain makes you hold losers and cut winners. This is the exact opposite of what profitable trading requires. The math becomes impossible. You need a massive win rate just to break even because your losses are bigger than your wins. Loss aversion flips the entire risk-reward equation against you. The top traders have learned to override this. They know that a small loss taken quickly is a victory, not a defeat. They know that sitting through discomfort in a winning trade is necessary for profitability. They've trained themselves to feel good about small losses and to feel calm during big wins. They've literally rewired their emotional responses. The second way your brain sabotages you is through pattern recognition gone wrong. Your brain is the most sophisticated pattern recognition machine on the planet. It's incredible at finding patterns. That's how your ancestors survived. They noticed that certain clouds meant rain, certain animal tracks meant food, certain sounds meant danger. Pattern recognition kept them alive. But here's the problem. Your brain is so good at finding patterns that it finds them even when they don't exist. This is called apophenia. You see faces in clouds, you see shapes in random noise, and in trading, you see setups that aren't really there. You look at a chart and your brain screams, head and shoulders, double bottom, bull flag. But half the time, it's just random price action that vaguely resembles a pattern. This is why traders overtrade. Your brain is constantly identifying opportunities that aren't real opportunities. It's connecting dots that shouldn't be connected. It's finding meaning in meaningless noise. The market is far more random than your brain wants to believe. Your brain hates randomness. It needs explanations. It needs patterns. So it creates them, even when they don't exist. The top traders understand that most of what they see on a chart is noise. They have strict, objective criteria for what qualifies as a valid setup. They don't trust their eyes. They trust their rules. They know that their brain will lie to them, so they create systems that don't rely on subjective pattern recognition. If it doesn't meet every single criterion on their checklist, it's not a trade. Period. The third cognitive bias that destroys traders is recency bias. Your brain gives far more weight to things that happened recently than things that happened in the past. This made sense for survival. What happened yesterday is more relevant to your survival than what happened a year ago. If there was a lion at the watering hole yesterday, you should probably be careful today. But in trading, recency bias is a killer. Here's how it works. You have a strategy, it's been profitable for 6 months. You've done the back testing, you trust it. Then you hit a losing streak. 3 losses, 4 losses, 5 losses in a row. Suddenly, your brain is screaming at you. This doesn't work anymore. Something has changed. You need a new strategy. So you abandon your system. You start over. You find something new. But here's the truth. 5 losses in a row is completely normal for almost any strategy. It's just variance. Your strategy didn't break. The market didn't change. You just experienced a normal statistical fluctuation. But your brain can't see that. Your brain only remembers the recent pain. The 6 months of profits feel distant and irrelevant. The 5 recent losses feel urgent and important. This is why traders constantly switch strategies. They can't see past their recent experience. They make decisions based on the last week instead of the last year. The top traders think in large sample sizes. They don't judge a strategy by 10 trades. They judge it by hundreds. They know that short-term results are meaningless. Only long-term results matter. They've trained themselves to zoom out when their brain wants to zoom in. The fourth bias is confirmation bias, and this one is sneaky because you won't even notice it happening. Confirmation bias means you seek out information that confirms what you already believe and ignore information that contradicts it. Once you have an opinion, your brain works overtime to prove itself right. Here's how this destroys your trading. You do your analysis, you decide you're bullish, you're going to buy. Now something dangerous happens. Your brain starts filtering information. You notice every bullish signal on the chart. That's support held. There's a bullish divergence. Volume is increasing. Your bias is confirmed, but you completely miss the bearish signals. You don't notice the resistance above. You ignore the bearish news. You dismiss the warning signs. Your brain literally hides information from you. You're not analyzing the market anymore. You're building a case for your existing position. You're a lawyer, not a judge. And when the trade goes against you, you're shocked. But everything looked so bullish. No, everything you allowed yourself to see looked bullish. The bearish evidence was there. Your brain just filtered it out. The top traders actively fight this. They practice something called steel manning their opposition. Before they take a trade, they ask themselves, what's the case against this trade? Why would this fail? What am I missing? They force themselves to see both sides. They try to prove themselves wrong before they enter. If they can't find strong arguments against their trade, then maybe it's a good trade. If they can, they either pass or adjust their position size. The fifth way your brain destroys your trading is through FOMO and herd instinct. Your ancestors survived by staying with the tribe. If everyone was running in one direction, you ran too. You didn't stop to analyze. You didn't question the crowd. You followed because being separated from the tribe meant death. This is hardwired deep into your brain. In trading, this instinct is catastrophic. When everyone is buying, when prices are mooning, when social media is exploding with excitement, your brain screams at you to join. You feel physical discomfort watching others make money while you sit on the sidelines. This is FOMO, and it's not just an emotion. It's an ancient survival instinct misfiring in a modern context. This is why retail traders consistently buy tops and sell bottoms. They buy when everyone is euphoric because their brain says, join the tribe. They sell when everyone is panicking because their brain says, run with the group. They do the exact opposite of what makes money. The top traders have learned to be deeply uncomfortable. They buy when it feels terrifying. They sell when it feels amazing. They've trained themselves to use crowd behavior as a counter-indicator. When everyone is bullish, they get cautious. When everyone is bearish, they get interested. They've overridden millions of years of tribal programming. The sixth and final bias is overconfidence after winning streaks. Your brain learns from success. When something works, you want to do more of it. Win a few trades in a row, and your brain concludes that you've figured it out. You're smarter than you thought. Your strategy is better than you realized. You're on fire. So what do? You increase your position size. You start taking trades that don't quite meet your criteria. You get sloppy with your stop losses. You're feeling invincible. And then the market humbles you. One loss wipes out 3 wins because you sized up, then another loss. Suddenly you're deep in the red, and you don't understand what happened. This is called the hot hand fallacy. Your brain assumes that past success predicts future success. But in trading, your last 3 trades have almost nothing to do with your next trade. Each trade is essentially independent. The market doesn't know or care that you've been winning. Your edge doesn't increase because you had a good week. The most dangerous time for a trader is right after a winning streak. That's when accounts blow up. That's when careers end. Not during the losing streaks, when you're careful and cautious. During the winning streaks, when you're confident and careless. The top traders stay paranoid. They don't let success change their behavior. Same position size after a win as after a loss. Same criteria, same discipline. They know that overconfidence is the market's favorite way to take back profits. So, how do you fight millions of years of evolution? How do you override programming that's baked into every neuron of your brain? You can't eliminate these biases. They're part of being human. But you can create systems that protect you from yourself. First, use rules instead of discretion. Every decision should be made before the trade, not during it. Your entry criteria, your stop loss, your target, your position size, all decided in advance when you're calm and rational. Once the trade is on, you just follow the plan. You don't think, you don't feel, you execute. Second, automate what you can. Set your stop loss and take profit orders immediately after entry. Then walk away from the screen. You can't override your stop loss if you're not there. You can't cut your winner short if the platform is managing it for you. Remove yourself from the equation. Third, use checklists religiously. Before every trade, go through your checklist. Does this setup meet criterion 1? Yes or no. Criterion 2? Yes or no. No subjectivity. No, close enough. Either it meets every criterion or you don't trade. This protects you from your pattern recognition brain seeing setups that aren't there. Fourth, keep a trading journal and review it regularly. Write down not just what you traded, but how you felt. What were you thinking when you entered? Were you following your rules or breaking them? Were you calm or emotional? Over time, you'll see patterns in your mistakes. You'll notice that you always overtrade on Mondays, or you always revenge trade after lunch, or you always size up when you're confident. Awareness is the first step to change. Fifth, think in probabilities, not certainties. Before every trade, remind yourself, this trade has maybe a 55% chance of working. This single trade doesn't matter. Only the next 100 trades matter. This psychological framing helps you accept losses and prevents you from getting too attached to any single outcome. Sixth, have accountability. Tell someone your rules. Have them check on you. Join a community of disciplined traders. It's harder to break your rules when you know you'll have to admit it to someone. Social pressure can be used for good, not just for FOMO. Your brain is not your enemy. It's an incredible machine that does amazing things. But it evolved for a different world, a world of immediate physical danger, scarce resources, and tribal survival. The modern financial markets are an environment your brain has no evolutionary preparation for. The instincts that kept your ancestors alive will drain your trading account if you let them operate unchecked. The good news is that awareness is power. Now that you understand these biases, you can watch for them. You can catch yourself in the act. You can pause and ask, am I making this decision rationally, or is my ancient brain taking over? That pause, that moment of self-awareness, is everything. Trading profitability isn't about being smarter than everyone else. It's about being more aware of your own psychology than everyone else. It's about building systems that protect you from yourself. The market will always try to exploit your weaknesses. Your job is to know your weaknesses better than the market does. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which of these biases affects you the most. Be honest with yourself. That honesty is the first step to overcoming it. And if you want me to go deeper on any of these cognitive biases or how to build systems to fight them, drop a comment and I'll make a dedicated video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.